meeting is being recorded.
Hello all, thanks for joining the session. Now we are going to discuss one of the new features in LoadRunner, which is noise generation in LoadRunner. Okay, so we all know LoadRunner is associated with licenses. The more amount we invest in licenses, the more protocols or the number of concurrent users we can purchase. But how can we get more value add from the same amount that we have already invested in? Okay, let's imagine we have a situation that we purchased 100 concurrent user license with which we have to do our load test and all other required tests. Okay, so we have done the load testing in a traditional way, like by creating the scripts, by recording the flows and making all the enhancements like parameterization, correlation, checkpoints, everything. And now we have done the load test which generated interesting data for our analysis. Okay, so load testing and other testings are done. But now there is a requirement saying that to see to what extent our application is scalable. Okay, though we can achieve this in other workarounds, but ideally if we can generate much load on this on the server, we can see to what extent the application is scalable. That is what exactly is the requirement to achieve. Okay, so how can we do that with the same licenses that we have in place? Okay, so we have a kind of workaround here, or a solution that is present from LoadRunner 12.02, which is called as noise generation. Okay, so what exactly is this noise generator? So noise generator or noise users, we call them as, they are like the scriptless users. Okay, so for general traditional user scripts, we'll be creating the scripts, but here we don't have to create the script. So then how does it work? So it works by sending a simple GET request to the AUT or the server or the application URL which we have been configuring in our noise generator scenario. And in the same way, we can also give how many users, how many noise users we can test or we can use in our test. We can also give the same runtime settings like how we have been doing in our regular scripts. All these other features are applicable to the noise users. Okay, as I mentioned, these are scriptless. And coming to the characteristics, so how can or how many noise users can we use in our test scenario? Okay, so it all depends on the license that we have bought. So let's imagine as we told, like we have 100 user license that we have purchased. So the combination could be like 50 regular users plus 500 normal users, or 10 regular plus 900 noise users. As long as the combination of the regular price user and the noise user when divided by 10 is not exceeding the licenses that we have already brought. Okay, so if this criteria is met, as long as this criteria is met, we can have that many noise users in our scenario. Okay, so this noise users, although they can run in parallel with any of the protocol, any of the script that is developed using any protocol, but the main support or supportability is there for the web-based protocols like our web HTTP, HTML, SAP Web, Flex, like that. Okay, so now we have some idea on the noise users. So how can we configure the noise users? Where is this feature available in LoadRunner? So this is available from LoadRunner 12.02 onwards. And how can we add this? Okay, so it's our regular screen where we are adding the groups in the controller scenario. Okay, so there we have to select the use noise generator option, and here we have to give the proper signature of the application URL like HTTP or HTTPS and then the URL, which we have to put the stress on, or to see how we can bombard this. And the good thing about this noise users is they will be created as a group with the prefix called as noise, so that we can understand, okay, this is the group that is created by the noise users. And these noise users, when they are creating the load on the servers, on the target server, we can see they are consuming the regular CPU, memory, and network and all other resources that a regular user script does. Okay, and if we have a good APM tool in place, then we can easily get all the statistics there. and see, okay, when we are using the noise we use, this application is scalable up to this percent. So all this type of metrics we can get when we have APM also in place along with our regular load runner analysis. Okay, so this is the screen where when we click on the add group button, we can give the noise generator URL for which we have to do the testing. Okay, and as I mentioned, this is created with a prefix called as noise underscore and the script name. And this is a scriptless protocol, a scriptless one. That means we cannot view the script what it has been created by load runner. So this would be directly created by load runner, and we do not have any content to display. So that's the reason the view script option is disabled here. But having said that, all the other runtime settings where we can give the think time, spacing, log options, all those things are available. Okay, so how do we get meaningful metrics when we are using the noise visors in our scenario? Okay, so you might be aware that in our load runner scenario we have an option in the miscellaneous section of runtime settings called as automated transactions. So what it does, it actually adds, we have two options here, like define each action and define each step. So if define each action is enabled, then we can see the action transaction, vUser init and vUser end as separate transactions in our report. Okay, so generally speaking, like when we are including the noise vUser, it is suggested to disable this option in all the other scripts apart from the noise vUser script. Why? Because if we disable this for noise vUser also, then we don't know exactly, we'll be in a dilemma saying that if the noise vUser script has been executed properly or not. So when we select this option, though it is a simple GET request that has been sending to the server over and over, we can see the response times, or we can see the action transaction in the report and see how much time it is taking. Okay, as mentioned, the response times are there, but they may not be of much help. More help would be coming when we have an APM tool in place, so from where we can see the resource utilization. Okay, so if we look at the report, how it is generated, so this is one sample report that we get after we are doing a noise test, a test where we have the noise group as well. So here you can see the action transaction is highlighted, which is from the noise group, and the other transactions are from the other transactions that we have defined in the script. Okay, so what are the benefits of this one? See, this is not exactly something new technical that HPR Now Micro Focus has come up with. This feature is included to get more value to the licenses that we have already purchased. Okay, and this feature is mainly useful in the scenarios where we have conditions to test the home page, where the home page has more traffic than the other pages. Okay, in that case we can scale the home page scenarios, or scale the home page load, and see till what extent it is able to handle and able to respond within the SLAs. So this is one good feature that is available from load runner. I have checked if this feature is available in other competitors, though we can achieve the same type of load generation using any other workarounds. I know it is achievable, but when we have this feature, it is better to make use of this feature. Okay, these are some of the benefits, as I mentioned, with the help of noise vUser. I can show you a quick demo on how we can actually configure it in our scenarios. Okay. So this is the load runner scenario, what we have. Most of us, or every one of us here, is familiar with the screen. So when we are adding add group here, so here we can see use noise generator accessing the following URL. So here if we give the required URL, okay, give the quantity of users that what we want to test, and the load generators. We can see the group being added here, okay, and all these other runtime settings that we can configure. Same runtime settings are applicable for even for the normal group, okay, except we have to enable this one to get to distinguish in the report end report, okay. So, and in the end we get the report something like this with all the transactions that are there in your script along with the noise transactions. So yeah, this is the new feature and which we can explore in our current projects when there is a need to test the application with beyond the load and with the limited licenses that we have in place.
Any questions?
Any questions?
Hello, if you have any questions, please indicate by clicking on the hand raise icon so that I can enable your mic. If you have any questions, please indicate by clicking on the hand raise icon or put them in the chat window. Please. Hello, IBMS, if you have any questions or comments, then please indicate by clicking on the hand raise icon, which is available on the right hand side of the web interface.
Into 10x. Yeah.
So you're done with the presentation, right?
Yes. Yeah, I see one question from Pawan. Yeah, Pavan, you're using 12.53 controller, right? So is that from PC installation or you have a load runner installation? So this feature is there from load runner installation, and to use this feature in PC also, that is in roadmap, and which Micro Focus is yet to come with the dates when it would be available in from Performance Center. Okay. Next question, Harsha, you have asked like how many end users equals a single license. So it's it's the combination that you have to use. It's not like we cannot draw the exact line on how many NV users that we can use. As long as the combination of regular V users plus the noise V users when divided by 10 is not exceeding the licenses that we have brought, we can use that ratios. Yes, it is protocol independent. Next question to from Rahul. Yeah, this is protocol independent. It can work with any protocol, but as suggested, we can majorly use with the web-based protocols. Yes, Imran, I see your question. Can we add multiple noise groups? Yes, we have that option to add multiple noise groups also, in the same way how we are adding the groups. Okay, so next question is from Sudeep. Sudeep, as you mentioned, if we are testing a home page, for example, so okay, next question from Hemika. See this one, if the noise transaction is failing, so mostly we have to go to the direct application server metrics. From there we have to analyze, okay, why this has been failed. If the application is crashed, mainly the analysis or the troubleshooting would be done from the application end when a noise user is failing.
I have stopped the recording.
Yeah.
If you want, we can take a couple of more.
Yeah, sure. So next, Abhay, yeah, you have mentioned that we are testing with 100 users and one noise user. Yes, now we can say that we are testing with 101 concurrent users. That's right, Swati. answering to your question, it means the response times what we get for web script. It is for all V users together, including the noise plus the regular user. Yes, Nitin, it is to have the background noise on the application that we have to test. Okay, that's it from my end. If you have any other questions, you can directly send me your questions over email. I will get back to you on that part.
Okay. Thank you so much for the fabulous session, and thank you so much for answering the questions so effectively.
Yeah.
Even do submit your valuable feedback so that we can improve your learning experience in the coming days. And I hope we keep learning, keep growing, keep sharing. This is a facilitator Sunny Park from Bangalore in southern India. Goodbye. Take care.
Yeah.
Thank you, Sudesh.
Thanks everyone. Thank you, Sunny.